I don't want people to think that I'm a traditional business coach. And so I kind of just created this term on my own that I'm more of an intuitive business guide. Scott and I have a very unusual relationship, not just with each other, but with our business. And we have made all of the big decisions that we have made in our business have been based off of intuition rather than revenue. And so if we're talking about traditional business, you're always going to make all of the decisions based off of revenue. And so although we do take revenue into account, it's not the deciding factor. The deciding factor is, we get in touch with ourselves and we get crystal clear on what we want for our life outside of this business. Because for a long time, I felt like I was putting on my mom hat, and then I would take that off and then put on my business owner hat, and then take that off and put on my, manage my employees hat. And then I would take that off and put on my baseball mom hat. And it's the truth is it's all one and the same, right? And so I wanted a business that would give us the life that we have now, which was more ease and more flow. And for a long time, I thought that the only way that we could be successful in having a service business or in the home service industry was to scale and have, 20 employees and 5 or 10 vans. And, that made me so stressed out just thinking about that. I was like, do you know how much I'm going to have to work just to get any of that going or off the, get that off the road? And it just never sit right with me. And so we've always made our own decisions very intentionally. And I started writing online courses, and I never really wanted to work with business owners privately. But what happened was I started doing a lot of, I guess, more metaphysical and energetic work. And I created a private program, like a private journey program. And again, I never set out to do that. I just wanted to do the online courses. But I was interviewing people via Zoom. I was interviewing all of these business owners. And then when I was done interviewing them, I would, send them an intuitive business assessment for free. And then it was done, and I wasn't really working with them one-on-one. And what would happen is I would start to get all these, these downloads and, ideas for them, but I wasn't working with them. And I'm like, oh, wouldn't that be great if I was working with her or working with him and I could help him with this and that. And so I kind of created this 4-week and 6-week private journey program where I can kind of work on, the online social media and website cohesion, or we can work on manifesting dream clients, or we can work on, healing money stories and money psychology and things like that. So it's great because I'm kind of taking the traditional business stuff, but I'm also kind of infusing it with energetics and intuition as well.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And it's so needed, because I think, we have this, there's this idea of what you mentioned, scaling, of what business success looks like. And there's one definition. It's scaling, it's grow it as big as possible. If somebody asks you, Miranda, or you, Scott, well, how many trucks you running? You know
Right.
exactly what they're asking,
Right.
like they're wanting to compare whatever number you say to whatever number they think would be impressive, and so redefining what success looks like based on what's going to make you happy in life is so needed, because there's that pressure to feel like I'm not doing this well. Look at that guy. He's got 5 trucks. I've got 3, and you could put so much pressure on yourself to build this thing into something that you don't even want,